I feel like the idiot that got left behind.
Sister Wives starts Thursday, September 26 on TLC.
Nobody streams live sport like Unbeaten. As we run the plays and take the hits. If you love live sport, remain unbeaten.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
And Hunters out for Host Plus Finals. At the country's 49th Independence Day celebrations in Vanimo, West Sepik Province commenced this morning with a parade featuring members of the PNG Defence Force, the Correctional Services and the Royal PNG Constabulary. The parade highlighted the nation's unity and pride. Students from Don Bosco, Vanimo Secondary and various primary schools actively participated.
Vanimo's residents came out in numbers this morning to welcome the 49th Independence Day for Papua New Guinea.
Left, right, 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 left.
In his keynote address, Governor Tony Wowo expressed profound gratitude and respect for the nation's founding fathers. He paid special tribute to Great-Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare and Lady Veronica, acknowledging their contributions to the country's sovereignty and development. Governor Wowo also extended his thanks to officials of the provincial government and other authorities for their continued support and efforts in advancing the region. The governor emphasized the importance of collective effort as the country prepares for its 50th anniversary next year. He called on the public to unite in building a stronger future through improvement in education, healthcare and infrastructure, underscoring the need to manage these resources wisely for the betterment of the economy. Reflecting on recent events, Governor Wowo announced that Vanimo's town oval would be renamed Pope Francis Oval, honoring the recent visit of Pope Francis to the town. He highlighted this as a rare privilege and significant moment for Vanimo and its people. The independence celebrations in Vanimo also set the stage for preparations for the landmark 50th anniversary. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
The Minister for Internal Security, Peter Siamalili Jr., has extended his best wishes to the people of Papua New Guinea on our 49th Independence Day today. It is the beginning of our 50th year as a sovereign nation state. Siamalili said this is a time for Papua New Guineans to reflect on the country's achievements for the past 49 years and consider how to continue to advance the economy and enhance law and order.
The Minister for Internal Security, through a press statement, congratulates the people of Papua New Guinea for our 49th Independence Day, which begins our 50th year as a sovereign nation. It said this is a time for Papua New Guineans to reflect on the country's achievements and consider how to advance the economy and contribute meaningfully to assist the police force and enhance the law and order issues in the country. It said the police commissioner has been leading reforms that are changing the RPNGC. This includes weeding out police that are unfit for duty and removing them from the force, while at the same time increasing recruitment with effective training that will see force numbers reach 10,000 by the end of the decade. Shamalili said current police are receiving additional training, new technology is being introduced across the country, and the rules of engagement for police dealing with criminals have been strengthened. Every officer in the police force knows they have clear direction and that they have no tolerance for any person who threatens another with a weapon. Over the past years, several violent criminals have been removed by police, protecting the innocent from harm, and this policy will continue. He said the cost of living and rising inflation are global problems, with countries from Australia to Africa to Europe are experiencing increased crime rates as people struggle with inflation affecting consumer goods. He said the government will act to its steadfast determination to deal with these problems. This also means working together with the police to fight crime and reduce criminal activities in the country. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
49 years ago, on September 16, 1975, Papua New Guinea raised its own flag and took its place among the sovereign nations of the world. Today, we stand proudly as a people who have persevered, grown, and defined our identity on the global stage.
Prime Minister James Marape, in his independence message to the country, said today is a day to remember with gratitude the visionaries and patriots who led our country to independence. The journey they began was not easy, and the path since then has been filled with challenges, triumphs, and the tireless efforts of our people, our elders, our founding leaders, and every citizen who has contributed to this country's development. We honor you today. As we reflect on 49 years of nationhood, the Prime Minister urged all citizens to reflect and consider how far we have come from the humble beginnings when our nation was a young democracy filled with dreams. We have grown into a proud, diverse, and resilient country. He said we have embraced our cultural heritage, which makes Papua New Guinea one of the most unique and vibrant countries in the world. The more than 800 languages and distinct cultures remains PNG's greatest strength, shaping our identity and uniting us despite our differences. Marape further pointed out that over the years, we have made significant progress in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and governance. But, he said, we also recognize that the journey has not been without its difficulties. Poverty, inequality, corruption, and service delivery challenges continue to test us as a nation. However, each challenge is also an opportunity to do better, to serve our people more effectively, and to chart a brighter course for future generations. Vanimo, TV1 News.
The official celebrations of Papua New Guinea's 49 years of independence commenced this morning at the Independence Hill with the flag raising ceremony. Prime Minister James Marape and his wife, Madam Rachel, were joined by heads of the disciplinary forces and its members, including PNG's bilateral and development partners, members of the diplomatic corps, school students, and the general public to witness the symbolic ceremony of raising the flag of PNG.
Prime Minister James Marape this morning in delivering his official remarks at the flag-raising ceremony commemorating Papua New Guinea's 49 years of independence and sovereignty, apologized to the people of Papua New Guinea for the failures of the current government and those before. Prime Minister Marape emphasized that this year's celebrations be centered around reconciliation of peoples, families, communities, and wider society, including Bougainville.
Today, we like talk past them through. Also, I'm supposed to organize aspirations from every child of this country as one people, one nation, one country. Supposed to fulfill. Ibla sanap na mikili planting na ibla. Stop until bell hungry, bell cry, bell worry. Also, leadership of past coming up today. Mipla, fully fulfilling 8-point plan where Papa Somare giving Mipla. Me like talk Mipla sorry. This was independent year and time you Mipla talk sorry. Now reach out from one pla. Papua Guinea reach out to Bougainville. Talk sorry to Bougainville. Papua reach out. Lo Yumi 1-1. One piscine. One of my Yumi stop. Time you Mipla talk sorry to each other. You. This is house from 7th Prime Minister before me. And me at number 8 Prime Minister. Me like talk. Sabus Mipla failing Yupla. Mipla talk sorry from government from the Yupla.
Prime Minister Marape appealed to Papua New Guineans in the generations to come to pursue the 8-point plan of late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. The plan states a rapid increase in the proportion of the economy, more equal distribution of benefits, including a move toward equalizing incomes and an increase in capacity for meeting government spending needs from locally raised revenue, among 5 others.
I want to ask generations who will come after me remain in pursuit of the 8-point plan of Papa Somare. Remain in pursuit of the Vision 2050 of Papa Somare, who once again gifted us in 2010. I had the rare privilege of sitting at the feet of the old man Somare 10 days before he passed. And he told me himself, he said, Mr. Prime Minister, I am passing. And he asked me not to forget the rural PNG, not to forget rural ECPIC, for instance, not to forget people of all parts of our country. He spoke to me in the inner sanctum of his house, his retreat, his home. This appeal resonates much bigger today as we work our absolute best. And I appeal to all of us in the 49th anniversary that great work remains.
Prime Minister Marape further appealed to those in the public service of the government, the members of parliament and other state agencies to question if their efforts within their capacity are enough for the people of this nation. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. When we come back, SOE in Porgera and Child Protection Unit recommended.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Are you thirsty for more? Celebrate this independence with Pepsi's new look, same great taste, and lower than low prices. Only $2.20 in stores now. Includes Pepsi, Pepsi Max, 7-Up, Mirinda, Mountain Dew, Gold Spot, and Coca-Cola. Hurry to your nearest store for more.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way.
it out. That's fantastic.
Woo! King D Customs, Wednesdays 8:30 on Turbo.
Welcome back. Provincial member for Enga, Sir Peter Ipatas, is calling on the national government to urgently implement the state of emergency recently approved by the National Executive Council in the Porgera Valley district in Enga due to alarming escalation in law and order issues in recent weeks. Ipatas issued this urgent plea following a surge in tribal violence in Porgera Valley over the past few days.
Tribal violence in Porgera Valley over the past few days has led to loss of many innocent lives, displacement of people, property destruction, and heightened fears for the safety of local residents and businesses. Provincial member for Enga, Sir Peter Ipatas, said the situation is dire and called on the government to act swiftly to implement the SOE for Porgera Valley to restore peace and order. The impact of the ongoing violence extends beyond local communities, with all businesses and government services affected, with employees, public servants and their families displaced from their homes and at imminent risk. The Porgera mine, a critical asset for the national economy, is facing increasing threats. He said if these security challenges are not addressed promptly, there is an ongoing risk of the mine being shut down to safeguard its operations and personnel, which could have significant economic impact for the country. Ipatas also emphasized the need for an immediate increased deployment of disciplinary forces to manage the crisis effectively. The violence in the valley has reached unprecedented levels, with the use of illegal high-powered weapons becoming commonplace without any repercussions. The law and justice system in Porgera also needs to be immediately re-established for the rule of law to prevail. Tensions remains high and the conflict shows no sign of improving without urgent police-led interventions. Vanimo, TVWAN News.
Emergency orders have been declared in the Porgera Valley, with police mobilizing to protect critical infrastructure and safeguard residents of the valley who have been terrorized and attacked by illegal miners and settlers. Commissioner of Police David Manning said there is no more tolerance after an escalation in violence, and police are escalating the legitimate use of force to remove the combatants. About 122 security personnel are on the ground, including mobile squads, doggy squads, sector response unit, and personnel from the PNG Defence Force. The Kasawari Road United Church was established in Ley, Moresby province, long before independence, and at that time, the Bumbu River was a safe distance away. Fast forward to 55 years later, and the church's ablution and kitchen facilities, including a whole classroom, have collapsed into a river.
The Kasawari Road United Church was established in 1969 in Ley, Moresby province. That church was not facing threats of erosion and structural collapse until the torrential downpour of Friday, August 23rd, that wrecked the Yellow Bridge. During that time, the elementary school for Kasawari Road United Church and the Ley Christian Academy found themselves perched precariously over the fast-flowing Bumbu River as it started to chip away at the riverbank. Authorities responded by diverting the course of the river and were yet to start erosion management planning when heavy rain started on Friday, September 6th, exactly 2 weeks later. This was when the church kitchen, ablution facilities, and an Emmanuel Elementary classroom fell into the river.
It has come to a point where what we have now is what our parents, what our grandparents, what our people have done in the past. This is their landmark, and as it is, this natural disaster brings us to this situation. I think this is the time when this generation that is taking ownership of leadership and life and witness of this church will begin to rise up and take ownership, take responsibilities over what their parents used to do. So we hope this will be a great opportunity for us to rise up as a church, rise up as leaders, rise up as responsible members of the United in Papua New Guinea to mend our church.
The Kasawari Road United Church is embarking on a project that will involve the construction of a gabion wall to stabilize the slope against soil erosion. That church is calling on its members and the community to support this project. Meantime, Lay MP and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso said the PNG Defence Force engineers at Igam Barracks have been engaged in plans for river training and protection works along the Bumbu River. Work is expected to begin soon. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The Family and Sexual Violence Unit has made recommendations to the Royal Papua New Guinea Management and the government to establish a child protection unit that can deal with violence against children. FSV Director Superintendent Dilela Sandeka addressed this when testifying the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest recently.
During a testimony to the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest, Director for Family and Sexual Violence Unit, Superintendent Dilela Sandeka, recommended that a child protection unit be established to deal with matters relating to violence against children.
To have a child protection unit.
Yeah.
And in future, to capture and work closely with Lookout in Pikinini Act.
She said that currently children who are victims of sexual abuse, including children who are brought in as witness, have no specialized unit for police officers to deal with their matters separately. Many times they come in with their parents and chances of revealing factual statements are halted because they are too embarrassed to talk about it.
Women come in, the mothers, they come with children.
Yeah.
And children who are also victim, who have witnessed or become fallen victim also.
Yeah.
They all come together and we deal with all of them.
Yeah.
But for children, they should have a specialized unit for themselves for more concentration and also give more priority and emphasis on especially the children who are vulnerable group.
Superintendent Sandika added that for children who come into conflict with the law as perpetrators, there is a juvenile system that deals with their matter. However, this system is currently under community policing. She said it should have its own directorate, also because of the sensitivity of cases that require an effective rehabilitation process.
Children who have come into conflict with the law as perpetrators,
yeah.
That's juvenile.
Yeah.
We have juvenile center.
In his response, COI Commissioner Justice Elinas Batari said there is a system of law under the Juvenile Act that provides measures on how to deal with a child who comes into conflict with the law. This system guides how a child should be treated starting from the time of arrest. However, after hearing Sandeka's statement, Batari questioned if the law is being implemented effectively by law enforcers.
It looks like, from what you're saying, is that no one is really taking a serious practical concern about that.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
We apologize, we are unable to bring you the financial report as it was not provided to us. News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG é minha. Fine PNG made.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rise product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Thanks for staying with us. Member for Hiri-Koiari Kit Iduhu was all smiles as the inaugural Hiri-Koiari Trade and Cultural Festival at Edai Town came to a successful end today. The 3-day event began on Saturday and ended today to mark off Papua New Guinea's 49th independence anniversary.
More than 1,000 people flocked through the gates of Edai Town to attend the first ever 3-day Hiri-Koiari Trade and Cultural Festival. Today's activities began this morning with a flag raising ceremony and the national anthem, and then eased into a music festival featuring singers from the Central Province like Noel Asi and Viginats. Member for Hiri-Koiari Keith Iduhu shared how satisfied he was with the outcome of the event. He expressed he is keen to hold the event annually.
We will continue. We will do this into the future as well. I'm hopeful that the Hiri-Koiari district will continue this even beyond my time. And I'm hopeful. So we are taking a strong position. Today it will be a significant event because we're also getting the National Cultural Commission issue a certificate of incorporation of the Cultural and Trade Festival, which will be embedded in the calendar of our Hiri-Koiari development. So it will become an annual event.
Iduhu shared that the purpose of the festival was to attract tourists, showcase culture, empower local women, and encourage youth involvement.
Absolutely, this is really it really is a tourism product, and that the district is promoting. And like I said, it can be. So there's great potential there. We will explore into that space.
Central Music Association President Alan Kedea acknowledged Iduhu for the initiative and shared that CMA is looking forward for more of these events.
I'd like to thank our member for Hiri-Koiari, Keith Iduhu, for organizing this event. We have our challenges in the city, but these sort of events bring people out of Moresby and allow them to celebrate in a way that we do all the time in Central Province.
More than 1,000 people attended the final day of the festival and celebrated independence the Central way. The event concludes with a certificate presentation from the National Cultural Commission with final remarks by MP Iduhu.
Jasmine Irujak, TV1 News.
The 5th edition of the famous annual Tolai Shell Money Festival this year will for the first time have a music category with the introduction of the Battle of the Sound segment added to its program. Founding president and chairman of the ENB Tolai Shell Money Festival, Richard Tapil, said from last year's experience, his committee made some adjustments to the activities this year, which include the live music category.
With the Gazelle Peninsula traditionally famous for its acoustic guitar, string band genre and live Tolai rock music, chairman of the Tolai Shell Money Festival, Richard Tapil, is very confident the introduction of the Battle of the Sound would be an added attraction to this year's show, with the likes of original Moab string band featuring George Stanek. In the rock band category, Tapil said they have sent out invitations to some of Eastern Britain's big-name musicians, including Kanai Pineri, Cabo Rita, and the Kearney Brothers. The Battle of the Sound will have 3 categories: live bands, string bands, and gospel bands.
The program will be just same as last year, but we included the ENB Shell Money Foundation music Battle of the Sound. So we will have the live bands and also the string bands and also the gospel bands. They will be competing in 3 categories.
Tapil explained his committee has set some requirements and criteria for bands to compose specific songs that would add meaning to the festival and promote the significance of the Tolai Shell Money Festival. Its group is required to produce 3 original compositions about the twin volcano eruptions, the Shell Money Festival, and the third is of their choice, addressing the country's national issues.
We said 3 songs only to be composed by the bands, and those 3 songs, one will mainly talk about the twin eruption of September 19, the 30th anniversary of the twin eruption. So the other song that they will compose is about Shell Money itself. They will compose a song talking about the history of Shell Money, and the third song will be their own choice.
The chairman said last year's crushing and threading of Shell Money competition attracted a lot of participants, especially youths from the wards within the Road 1 LLG area. Due to popular demand, they are expecting an increase in participants this year. Tapil has thanked DDCell for sponsoring this particular event. Day 1 of the festival on September 19 will start with a Shell Money float along the shorelines of Kokopo to Malapau Beach. The opening ceremony follows the float. Minister for Tourism Belden Nama will give the keynote address. The chairman said the Tolai Shell Money Festival Committee is happy to once again partner with the Eastern Britain Provincial Government, the National Cultural Commission, and the Tourism Promotion Authority in promoting and safeguarding the tabu as an invaluable cultural heritage of the Tolai society.
The official independence celebrations ended today with the lowering of the flag at Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, Konedobu. TV1 reporter Jasmine Irujak with more updates.
PNG's 49th Independence Day ended this afternoon at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium with the flag-lowering ceremony and the beating of the retreat. Now, there was a parade and mounting of guard combined discipline forces with the PNG Defence Force, the Royal PNG Constabulary and the PNG Correctional Service here. We had the Grand Chief Sir Bob Dadai give his remarks and spoke about PNG and reflecting on the years of independence, asking for changed mindsets in the country. Now the flag was lowered and handed over to Sir Bob Dadai before his departure at around 5 p.m. Following the NCD Governor, Powes Pakop, leaving, and then after that, Acting Chief of Defence Force, Commodore Philip Polawara.
In regional news, an elderly man has died after waiting 4 hours for an ambulance to reach him home in Melbourne's east. The state suffered a major paramedic shortage over the weekend.
Real tragedy, and it's a question whether it could have been avoided. So on Sunday morning at around 2 o'clock, this elderly man who lives in Surrey Hills, that's a suburb about 10 kilometres east of Melbourne CBD. His neighbours heard cries for help and they called for an ambulance. Sadly, that did not come for about 4 hours. So around 6 o'clock, a non-emergency crew showed up, but at that point, the man had tragically passed away. Now, it's not known how he died. The police are preparing a report for the coroner, so we will find out at that point what actually happened. But on this night, the Ambulance Victoria was also experiencing huge shortages, so mass paramedic shortages due to seasonal illnesses. And it says that at one point, there were 50 paramedic crews short. So that's a lot of paramedics that were down because of seasonal illness, and this meant that people out in the community who were critically ill had to wait almost an hour or more than an hour in many situations for an ambulance. Now, the Union for Victoria's Ambulance says the real issue here is that people are feeling overworked, and when their workloads are not managed well, then they do end up getting sick, and we are seeing these sort of paramedics then drop out and unable to come to work and get out to these really critical jobs. So the union says their workloads need to be managed better. They can't be skipping lunch breaks and finishing late consistently, because this is kind of what happens. Now, the Victorian government says issues like this, at some point, ambulance services will be stretched. So these kind of issues are experienced, and they can't really predict when people will genuinely fall sick. However, they have reiterated that they will continue to invest in emergency services so they can continue to operate even under such stressful conditions.
You've probably heard of the widespread benefits of therapy dogs, or even cats or horses. But in a groundbreaking approach to mental health care, another unique form of therapy is making waves.
This northern long-necked turtle may not look that comforting or cuddly, but at a Darwin Children's Clinic, Timmy has taken on the role of therapy turtle, and he's helping hundreds of young people. Jasmine is living with rheumatoid arthritis.
We've been coming here for, about 3 years with her very complex medical condition that she has. Timmy's great because he's an alternative sort of therapy animal, I guess.
His unusually calming presence makes clinic visits a much less stressful affair.
Then they don't know what's going on, and they don't necessarily understand what, mum and dad or their carers and the doctors are talking about, or what's going on with their body. So, does make it a much nicer experience.
They're no longer focusing on their pain, they're no longer focusing on why they're at the doctor, and really makes such a massive difference.
Timmy was abandoned by a local law firm years ago.
When he first arrived, I noticed that he was always at the tank wanting to interact with the kids, and so I started taking him out and taking him outside for walks.
He's been helping children like Jasmine ever since.
Older adults often have rheumatoid arthritis, but when you have it as a child, it's often much more severe. So Jasmine, battles with pain every day, and being able to hold Timmy and cuddle Timmy, as you saw, it can be really helpful for her pain and certainly for her anxiety.
A therapy turtle helping young people feel comfortable in their shells.
Year 9 can be described as a lost year, when learning and engagement sometimes take a dive, and the educational gap between advantaged and disadvantaged students widens. By more than 5 years, in Year 9, schools across the country have adopted a specialized program for students in a bid to keep them on track.
At St Patrick's High School in Tasmania's north, the Year 9 students dance to a different beat. There's less time in traditional classrooms and more time for things like aquaculture, housing and design,
Biflick design, it's one of my favourites,
and cooking.
This semester we're actually making cheese. I got to do photography for the first time.
The specialised Year 9 program also includes rites of passage, involving reflection and outdoor challenges.
It acknowledges that 14 and 15-year-olds do take risks. They want to be challenged. It builds resilience.
When students hit Year 9, many are dealing with changes to their bodies, brains and experiencing social pressure.
Schools have found Year 9 to be a bit of a tricky year. Some teachers have even gone so far as describing Year 9 to me as a bit of a lost year.
The data shows a downward slide in results from primary school to Year 9. 1 in 3 Year 9 students are below proficient in numeracy and literacy. Attendance rates are also down. And the gap between advantaged and disadvantaged students becomes wider.
That gap between students in the more advantaged families is about 2 years ahead of students from more disadvantaged families in Year 3. By the time students reach Year 9, that gap more than doubles. In reading, it's over 5 years.
A number of government and non-government schools across the country have specialised Year 9 programs to keep students engaged. And experts say more needs to be done in primary school as soon as students fall behind. Keeping students on track in Year 9 is considered crucial for lifting results in the all-important years of 11 and 12. As these Year 9s head back to the classroom for their final years of school, they'll be armed with new skills and plenty of memories.
I'm almost ready to take that big leap.
They're preparing us well, so I think we'll be okay.
Back home, it's Papua New Guinea's 49th independence in the nation's capital, and people flocked several hotspots to witness cultural events in and around the city. Unagi Oval, Ella Beach and the University of Papua New Guinea were 3 of the big events carried out to celebrate, whilst others preferred to do small gatherings at home to celebrate the day.
The nation's capital was busy today with activities commemorating the country's 49th independence anniversary. 2024 UPNG SRC President Joel Rimbu emphasized that celebration at the University of Papua New Guinea began on Sunday 15th and end today with a flag raising ceremony and cultural show.
Actually doing a cultural show sort of thing where we get our 4 regions to come up with their own provincial colors and show their traditional sing and their traditional attires and all of that. And it's.
The event had live performance from Augustine Emil, Larims of Kagwa, Abi Nane, Kaluti and Taita Maraga. The SRC president acknowledged Kumul Minerals Holdings, National Planning and Monitoring, Moresby Northwest, and City for their support. On the other side of the city, Unagi Oval was also jam-packed with the amazing Port Moresby Independence Festival. The event had cultural dances from various provinces as well as live music from local artists like Ragasia and Kaluti. A bit of delay with the program, however, Governor for NCD Powers Pakop arrived to give his remarks and shared that the whole purpose of the event was to showcase culture, embrace unity and celebrate togetherness. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
This is TVWAN News. Next in sports with Tracy, Hunters fall to Devils and Eagles return to winners' circle.
rush, we're ready to go.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
Digicel Business. We help grow your business with secure, reliable and cost-effective ICT solutions. We will manage your technology so you can power your vision for your business with the best solutions to offer. Accelerate your business growth with Digicel Business Cloud Solutions with cloud platform services, disaster recovery as a service, and backup as a service. Talk to our cloud solutions experts today. Digicel Business. Better solutions for better business.
Get ready for more! Digicel's new Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. Now with more options, more plans, and more time. Choose from our daily plans, now valid for 24 hours, weekly plans, or even a monthly plan from our suite of Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. All with more data and starting from as low as 1 kina. Yes, you heard right. What's up, Asol? Yes, yeah! Only Digicel's Big Plus Supersized Data Plans gives you more. Activate today on My Digicel app or dial *675# only with Digicel.
Are you thirsty for more? Celebrate this independence with Pepsi's new look, same great taste, and lower than low prices. Only 2 kilo 20 in stores now. Includes Pepsi, Pepsi Max, 7-Up, Mirinda, Mountain Dew, Gold Spot, and Coca-Cola. Hurry to your nearest store for more.
Nobody streams live sport like Unbeaten. As we run the plays and take the hits. If you love live sport, remain unbeaten.
Welcome back. The SPPNG Hunters faced a tough defeat at the hands of North Devils in a high-scoring preliminary final of the Hostplus Cup, played on Sunday, 15th September 2024 at Bismarck Park in Brisbane, Australia. The match saw both teams relentlessly pushing each other for a spot in the grand final. Unfortunately for the Hunters, the North Devils proved too strong, scoring a 46-30 victory.
A glorious spring day here at Bishop Park. And let
the Hunters started the game with determination, but it was Norths who opened the scoring early. Orin Kelly crossed the line in the 5th minute, with Blake Paskins and Cooper Jenkins quickly followed with tries in the 12th and 16th minute, respectively. The Devils' attacking prowess left the Hunters struggling to match the pace, and by the end of the first half, the score stood at 22-12 in favor of the Devils. Despite the early onslaught, the SPPNG Hunters found their footing through a try from Finley Glare in the 26th minute. Robert Matthews added another in the 31st minute, with both tries successfully converted by Jamie Mavoko. However, the Devils maintained their dominance with a late first-half try by Tessie New in the 37th minute, further extending their lead. As the second half kicked off, the Devils continued to put pressure on the Hunters. Julian Christine crossed the line in the 45th minute, and Jordan Leap converted successfully. Leap had been consistent with his conversions throughout the game, adding 5 from 8 attempts. The Devils capitalized on their momentum, with Jordan Leap scoring another try in the 55th minute, further widening the gap. The Hunters refused to back down, fighting their way back into the game. Alex Max scored a try just before half-time, while Solowane added another in the 63rd minute, keeping the Hunters within striking distance. Judah Rimbu capped off the Hunters' effort with a try in the 79th minute, showcasing their resilience till the final whistle. For the Hunters, this marks the end of their 2024 Hostplus Cup campaign. Though they fell short in the prelim final, their fighting spirit and determination throughout the season have left a lasting impression on their fans. As they look ahead to next season, the Hunters will no doubt be aiming for a stronger performance. With the grand final on the horizon, all eyes will now be on the North Devils as they prepare to take on the Dolphins. Both teams have shown immense strength throughout the season, and the grand final showdown promises to be an intense and exciting clash. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
It is still a better outcome for the PNG Hunters despite Sunday's result at Brisbane's Bismarck Park. The depleted Hunters outfit ended its 2024 Rugby League campaign in the Queensland Rugby League competition with a 32-46 lose to North Devils.
Mosley, trouble here for the...
This time last year, the SPPNG Hunters were on holiday. 12 months later, the Hunters played better football than they did in the past 7 years and should hold their heads high. The Hunters' season 2024 in the Host Plus Cup ended with a preliminary final exit, just one match away from grand final. Paul Iton's men entered the pitch with a lot of confidence, but couldn't go past the very much experienced North Devils outfit. The game looked destined for Devils before the game had begun. The Hunters side, without its main man Joshua Lau, who was out injured, was going to be a tough one. Unavailability of Junior Rope and Valentine Richard were massive overloss, leaving the middle third vulnerable. Despite these players' unavailability through injury and suspension, the brave Hunters men stood the early invasion from North Devils in the first half to stage a strong second half performance. The Hunters found form late in the contest, but it was too little too late as the damage had already been done in the first half. The Hunters head coach Paul Iton should be proud of himself and the boys for being in the grind throughout the season. It's a good experience for himself as a rookie coach and for the entire playing squad who also had a first taste of finals at that level of football. The Hunters return to the paddock next year, not only with determination and courage to go one better, but also with big game experience under their belts.
After 25 odd years, the Mount Hagen Eagles have finally broken the curse to secure themselves a third National Rugby League competition title. The 28-20 victory over Hela Wigman on 15 September at the Santos National Football Stadium means a lot to many.
Mount Hagen Eagles' grand final victory means a lot to the club, the players and the coaching staff. To club's head coach Francis Ray, it means another opportunity to prove himself after leading the club to their last grand final appearance in 2008, where they lost to Mandy Muruks. To Sakias Komati, it means winning a domestic National Rugby League competition. Having featured in 2 grand finals in 2001 and 2002 respectively, with Wagitumbe and Rabal Gurias, Komati was determined to go one better, and he snatched the Player of the Match award, and deservedly so. And to Eagles skipper Henry Wan Noki, it means playing in the grand final of the National Rugby League competition for the first time after spending almost 15 years at this level and featuring in the grand final at the back end of his career. The club finished at the bottom of the competition in 2023, but rose to victory in this year's grand final. The club has come a long way to break a 2.5-decade premiership drought. The level of joy and what it means to the playing group, the coaching staff and management was all over their face. While the Eagles deserve every bit of praise for their miracle turnaround this season, the Wigmen should also be applauded for making the unlikely grand final. The DGCL ExxonMobil Cup competition ended with yet again another thrilling grand final encounter to wrap up the football year. Year 2025 promises another great year for Rugby League. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports.
It was an emotional moment for Mount Hagen Eagles captain and enforcer Henry Wan Noki after leading his team to a gusty second half comeback to flying over the Hela Wigman 28-20 to be crowded the 2024 Digital ExxonMobil Cup champions. It was all joy and excitement for the Western Highlands native who finally get to realize his dream of playing grand final and to actively hold the prestigious cup in his 15-year career playing at the semi-pro level was unreal.
Mobile Cup Grand Final is locked in.
One has been the mainstay of the Western Highlands franchise through years of trauma and adversity in his 15-year career playing at the semi-professional level. Returning to the fold after their 2-year suspension in 2020, the Eagles have been down at the cellar for the past 3 to 4 seasons. The return of Hagen's prodigal son Francis Ray literally injected a new lease of life to the high-flying Eagles, taking over the reign as head coach in 2024 after his 2-year stint at the Gurias. Coach Ray, in his wisdom, used the experience and influence of co-captains Henry Wan and Andrew Levi to rally around the team and build a good rapport among the playing group. Sticking together, playing for one another, their families, and playing for their beloved province with pride was their main motivating factor, and that set them on the path to grand final glory with a double scoop, the Money Premiership and the main cup champions. Captain courageous Henry Wan again rose to the challenge on D-Day, leading from the front to inspire Eagles' second-half remarkable comeback to beat Wigman and eventually take out the elusive major silverware, the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, since their last cup glory in 1998. After being crowned champion for 2024, an animated but emotional skipper Wan stood proudly in front of dignitaries, his team and supporters to share and recap on the aspirations and the Eagles' roller coaster journey this season to get to where they are today. Wan also congratulated Wigman for showing their class on the field, saying they are still the champion team, and for showing good sportsmanship at the end. Wan was quite emotional at the end, acknowledging and praising his boys, the players and the coaching staff for proving all the critics and negative comments wrong with a strong finish to their 2024 campaign and creating their own history.
Nobody expected us to be in this big stage now. You guys have proved everyone wrong. All get the mancha wogi critics now. One is on the style of said now also make him talk. You can't make it. Them here we congrats. You guys have written a new history for Rugby League upcoming talents. All back I'm looking for say team record and so congrats to my management and my players. With that, I can't say anything further. To my supporters, supporters.
The Eagles captain concluded thanking all their strong and loyal sponsors and faithful supporters for sticking with them through their 16-year drought.
To my Eagles sponsors, my hardworking Minister for State-owned enterprise, Minister Duma, I can't thank you enough. You never give up. Those dry season, me plus one and action nengu them use a start backside and support me come. Now I'm going to come up. So thank you for being at the back and supporting us all through.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
First weekend of Australia's National Rugby League competition finals has seen some great football matches displayed by the participating teams. Reigning premiers Penrith Panthers and Melbourne Storm won themselves a week off, while Sydney Roosters and Sharks failed to impress. They will give a go this week for a possible preliminary match. The Newcastle Knights bow out from the competition.
Defending champions Penrith Panthers approved their premiership credentials when they flexed their muscles at home to beat the Sydney Roosters 30 points to 10. The victory handed the Panthers their 5th straight preliminary finals appearance. The Panthers demolished Roosters in the first half, but the East returned in the second half with their own style, scoring 2 early tries. However, it was too little too late for Trent Robinson's men. The Roosters has one more match, while Panthers through to preliminary finals. Saturday's double-header saw minor premiers Melbourne Storm hold off Cronulla Sharks in an epic battle. Sharks showed glimpses of resilience in the first half, but the Storm's persistent onslaught gassed out their middle and gave Victorian team advantage to come out on top. Storm's 37-10 victory propelled them yet to another preliminary finals, one step closer to grand final. But it is a different story for Sharks. The Sharks' record in finals since 2017 has been unimpressive. If they lose their match against Cowboys next week, it would be their straight sets exit for consecutive year after making the top 4. North Queensland Cowboys have booked a semi-final spot after smashing the visiting Newcastle Knights 28 points to 16 at home yesterday to set the match against the Sharks. They looked impressive at home and would expect to carry the same form into the next game. For the Newcastle Knights, it's all over. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports, and now the weather forecast for the past 24 hours with Rex.
Southern. Port Moresby, cloudy with chances of showers, rain drizzles and possible inland thunderstorm. Daru and Popondetta, rain showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorms to cloudy. Kerema and Alotau, rainy periods and possible thunderstorm to cloudy. Momase, lay evening rain showers and possible thunderstorm to cloudy. Madang, few showers, rain drizzles, then partly cloudy. Wewak, few showers, rain drizzles, then cloudy. Vanimo, partly cloudy with chance of rain tonight. Nigini Islands, Lorengau, periods of rain and possible thunderstorms. Kavieng, rain showers and possible thunderstorms to partly cloudy. Kokopo Rabaul, rain showers and possible thunderstorms to partly cloudy tonight. Kimbe, cloudy with few showers, drizzles. And Buka, few showers and possible thunderstorms, then cloudy tonight. And Highlands, Mount Hagen, rain showers, drizzles and possible thunderstorm to cloudy. Goroka, Bunge and Kundiawa, rain showers and possible thunderstorm to low cloud bases. Mediterranean Wabek, rain showers and possible thunderstorm with drizzles to cloudy. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral seas rough with southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots, reaching 47 knots. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to rough over the south sector with east to southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas moderate to rough over the southwestern sector with southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas slight with northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands. Kerema, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 2 to 3 meters, rising to 4 meters over open waters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, and waters of Finschhafen through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island, seas 2 to 3 meters. And that ends the news tonight. From the news team, pleasant viewing. Bye now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.